Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Now we're going to return to the courtroom for Hey Kentucky's Hammer of Justice. It's brought to you by the law firm of Isaacs and Isaacs. Tonight, I rule on an important case, the case of the missing letter. Check it out.
Friends in the prime of their lives, but for them, there's one debate that can't be settled by the debate team. Mr. Compton is suing Miss Trapp for name recognition of a popular franchise grocery store. He says it's pronounced Meijer. She says it's Meijers. We say, let's settle this in court, guys. The cases are real. The court is not. This is Hammer of Justice.
The Hammer of Justice is here and ready to go. All right, it looks like we have Compton versus Trapp. And it looks like this is a dispute over, well, I'll tell you what, you just tell me. Go ahead, plead your case.
All right, well, we go to school at Lafayette and we spend some time together, and anytime the name Meijer comes up, she always feels the need to put an S on the end of it. Anybody who knows how to read knows that it's Meijer and there's no S in the logo.
Do you talk about Meijer a lot? Like, why does this come up so much?
It occasionally just kind of throws itself into a conversation, and every time she adds an S, it gets on my last nerve.
It gets on your last nerve?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, does she do this with other chain stores? Does she do this with Kroger's or Walmart's?
Not that I know of, but neither of those have an S on the end of them either.
Now, has this put a strain on your relationship?
Yeah, quite a bit.
I mean, it's clear you're doing a little two-step there while you're talking as well, because it gets you riled up, doesn't it? Do her friends say it that way?
She's the only one I've heard say it that way.
So you don't know anybody, so it's not like at Lafayette that's the thing to do, so everybody just puts the S on the end.
Most people there know how to read.
Okay, well, that's a strong statement there. No personal insults, okay? All right, now let me just say, his argument on the surface seems to me to be a pretty good one. As I understand it, it's spelled M-E-I-J-E-R. So how do you explain the fact that since it doesn't have an S in the name, you still add it?
Because since it's like a name, you wouldn't say I'm going to Steve. You would say I'm going to Steve's.
So the fact that it's an actual name makes a difference to you. Yes. But I have to tell you, Miss Trapp, that's not what they named it. I mean, for instance, Wendy's, McDonald's, but they put the S in the name on those.
Pennies.
Okay, Pennies. J.C. Penney. Some people call it Pennies, but it's not just him that says Meijer. It seems to me it's the free world that says Meijer.
No, there's other people that say Meijers.
Do you have any witnesses or any evidence of other people that do?
I do.
Like who?
Anyone here in the audience.
How many of you in the audience say Meijers? Wow, that is a large number. All right, well, Mr. Compton, how do you respond to that?
Well, as I said before, they didn't, or as you said, they didn't name it that.
But she makes a good point that other names of restaurants or stores, McDonald's, Wendy's, Dillard's, Macy's, they all have an S, and you think of a store that is a name that doesn't end in a plural besides Meijer?
I don't think so.
So have you brought any evidence to the court whatsoever?
Other than their logo, no.
He says he's hoping that if I rule for him, you'll never, ever use the S again. What if I rule for you? Does he have to start, in your mind, saying Meijers?
Yes, and he also has to know that I'm right.
So he has to proclaim that you're right. And I assume that if you win, you want her to proclaim that you're right.
Yes, definitely.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take this under advisement, and I will come back with my ruling. Okay. I have to tell you, when this case was first presented to me by my law clerks, I thought it was the stupidest thing I'd ever heard in my life. Because the name was clearly Meijer. But, I have to say, Ms. Trapp, you actually made a very compelling case about other names. And I will say, because you had examples for your side, and you did not have examples for your side, the Hammer of Justice will rule for the defendant, Taylor Trapp. You are now sentenced to win with Ms. Trapp. Call it Meijers. And you need to tell her right now that she is correct.
You're correct.
No. You need to look at her and tell her that she is correct.
You are correct.
The Hammer of Justice has ruled. So that's it for our third case. If you'd like me to adjudicate your dispute, send an email to heykentuckyjustice@gmail.com and tell us the details, and you can be featured on the Hammer of Justice segments. The best case wins tickets to a UK basketball game.